Now, I think it was last year or the year before, I really don't remember exactly when, but I was going to start doing some boater safety things. Just, you know, small stuff. You know, I'm not going to get into drift, you know, and currents and tides and all that, but, yeah, just some basics. So I did a couple of videos, like I say, 2 years ago maybe, on life jackets, personal flotation devices, and different types of equipment and things that should be on them. And then I ran across this today as I was cleaning things up. This is a little personal, well, it's actually a light, okay? It's a strobe to kind of give your location, especially at night. It's automatic. It goes right onto your jacket. Now this one is missing the back strap here, but as a rule, it goes right in your jacket. All you have to remember is just to turn it on, which is just sticking that up like that. Now it's on auto. As soon as this gets wet, those two contacts right there, as soon as it gets wet, it starts going off. So if it's on your jacket and you are jumping in or floating around, it's going to get wet. That's all there is to it. And I get it wet enough with this. There you go. Yeah, and that was just with the spray bottle. Now that's not super bright, but at night, when you're out in the water, it's dark. That will be seen. And if there's 2 or 3 of you with them blinking and you're tethered together, meaning you're tied together, it's definitely makes it more visible. So anyway, once that dries out, it'll stop blinking. But in the water, naturally, it's going to stay for some time. Now, when I said earlier, if you got 2 or 3 of them and you guys are tethered together, it adds more light. Well, the thing is, you don't want to keep running all of them all the time, because if all of them are running and the batteries all go dead, you're all screwed. So one of you would run it, and if you hear something out there, you know, a plane, a low plane, or a low helicopter, you know, searching for you, or boats, that's when you would turn them all on for a minute. And again, all you got to do is put it on auto and throw some water on it, and away it goes. And if you're not found, well then turn it back off, because like I say, you don't want all the batteries to go dead at once, only because you don't know how long you're going to be out there. So, but I may put this in with the, or box it in somehow, or just cut and paste it into the personal flotation device, because that's what it's actually for. It goes onto your PFD, your life jacket. So, all right, other than that, okay, I'm sorry, phone was ringing. So anyway, these 2 are mine, all right, so there have a lot of duplicates in them, only because I want to be able to help another. In fact, if they screw up or drop something or lose something that isn't something they're used to or tethered to, I can actually show and tell and explain if need be while we're in the water. And while we're in the water, we are also tethered together, because no man is left behind, woman, child, or whatever. Here's another strobe, which is also tethered. All right, that's what some of these little straps are for under here. Drop it through the drain hole, tether it to the strap. If I drop it, lose it, it's going to float, and I'm still going to be seen. Pocket rockets. There should be no reason why you can't have 3 of them in every vest, regardless if it's this type of vest or not. All right? I'm not saying everybody has to go out and buy this kind of a vest. I'm just showing you. So there's the 2 types of vest, loaded with all the safety equipment and all. And I've noticed that the up-to-date on some of the flares are coming up, so I'm going to replace them, even though I don't use them, because you never know. And the light, the batteries are kind of, they're still working, but you know what, those batteries are probably 2 years old, so I'm going to change those as well. Float coat. This is the same thing as those. This is a float coat. This is going to protect me. This is a personal flotation device. And also, it's a great coat to wear in the wintertime if you're shoveling snow or something, and if you're just, you get cold easy. It's a great jacket to wear year-round. I mean, winter. It's not a three-season jacket. It's definitely a winter jacket. But it's great if you're out there shoveling snow because you're seen. It also has reflectors on it. So it's great for that reason. I use it when I'm shoveling snow as well as if I'm out there doing something in the colder weather. If the water gets too cold, we change and we start going into our Mustangs or our exposure suits. But as a rule, this is where we're at. Now, as you can see right through there, there's pocket rockets in here as well. I started emptying out some of these things only because they're becoming expired, so I want to change them so the pockets are not fully equipped with everything that they need right now. So, but this is an exposure, a float coat rather, I'm sorry. So again, great. Now here is a regular, I don't want to use the word civilian, but boater. Here's a regular boater, or one of a standard boater's type vest. This is the kind of vest, not so much like this one, all right? My wife actually wears this one a lot, or did, when we used to go on the jet ski. Now, on a jet ski, you want something that's going to have some type of an impact rating. But seeing that she was behind me, I was more or less her impact rating. So I would wear an impact rated vest on the jet ski, and she would be behind me with this. Now, they make nice jackets or vests that are very comfortable to wear, and they look nice, that you can buy at a number of stores that are going to have either the zipper, which zippers are nice if it's for personal, but if you're going to be throwing it at anybody, you're going to want the adjustable straps because you want to be able to adjust it to size. You don't want them to have to fart around with a zipper, if by chance they unzipped it, which they shouldn't do when they're wearing it. But there's a number of different vests. They have them in different colors. I always like to say go with the brightest colors you can get, only because you're on the water with it and you want to be seen. Go with something that has pockets. Go with something that may have straps on it. Go with something where you can strap it to, or at least tether something to, because you want to put a couple of, well, there's no reason why you can't put 3 personal flotation, these pocket rockets in each vest. There's no reason why you can't have a whistle in each vest. A strobe, you know what? You should have it if you can afford it. Grab it. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get something to work. They have these little ones right here that work. Now, we bought these by the case, and I think we're all out of them, but we would use these as giveaways sometimes when we go to different festivals. It's got a little bit of a light. Doesn't look like much now, but at night, when you're out in the middle of the ocean and dark, this is going to help. And if not anything, remember I told you we are tethered together. So if there's 5 or 6 of us in the water, we're all tethered with a 6-foot line between us. And it's all the same line, so that, if any one of us, for some odd reason pass out or whatever, we don't have to worry about it. Plus, I may be, or somebody else may be the one that has the main strobe going, because I'm the one at this point, we'll say the captain of the ship. So I'm the one that's going to have the main strobes going. I'm the one that's going to have the most of the stuff with me and duplicates and somewhat triplicates. You're going to be the ones tethered to me. So this is going to help me see you, because believe it or not, if there's 6 of us together and we're tied about 6 feet apart, and if you're 10, 12 feet away from me in the dark, I'm not going to see you out in the middle of the water. So by having this on, I'm going to see you as well. So, not so much for the boat looking for you, but a plane, a chopper, they'll see it. Boats will see it when they start getting a little closer. They'll all see me, naturally. If they see me, they're going to see you. So, now I also carry in my jacket, when I go off, I take and I put a radio in my pocket, and I tether that to me, and I put a GPS in my pocket. Now this is just a GPS, it isn't a chart plotter, so it actually doesn't show the soundings or the ocean and all that, and depths and rocks and all, but it will show where I am with the longitude and latitude, which is really all that's needed for the Coast Guard to get a hold of me. And I have the radio to contact them with, and I usually have a spare set of batteries for each with me. The cell phone is going to be useless with you in the water. Even if it's waterproof and you have a chance to try to use it, it's not going to work for you when you're in the water. Forget about it. You need a radio. You need something decent. Don't be looking for bargain basements. Don't be looking to buy something that's used. Right? You're going out, you're buying a boat, be prepared. You know, if you can afford to put the gas in the boat, you can afford to save your life and buy the right stuff to do it with. That's all there is to it. So, you don't know how many times we've gone out there, and well, I'll tell you a couple stories in a minute, but at that point, get a vest that's comfortable for your guest and your kids, and they'll wear them. What happens if somebody's walking out to the bow, or somebody's walking out to the swim platform, and they fall, bang their head, and fall overboard? Now they're unconscious. Right? They're going to be going down. Just the wake of you alone is probably going to push them around and put them down. So now you got to stop the boat, try to find them, and you got to jump in after them. Well, hopefully you got your vest on, because when you go in after somebody, unless you don't know what's going on and they don't know how to swim, all right, they're going to be trying to sink you, because they're going to try to climb on you to get them out of the water. They're not doing it on purpose. That's just, you know, survival. They're going to climb up on you like you're a rock, and you're going to go down like a rock. So you better have your vest on when you jump in the water. And if somebody's going down, you don't have time to put your vest on. So again, have your vest on. Buy a comfortable vest. You can get them for $30, $40. You can buy a vest and outfit it for about 75 bucks. A comfortable vest outfitted with what they need: the mirror, the whistle, a pocket rockets, a pack of 3, you know, and an inexpensive strobe. Because remember, your strobe is going to be the one that's doing most of the work. The inexpensive strobes are basically for them, so that you can see them if they get adrift at night from you, and also if somebody's flying above looking, it gives them a chance to help find it. And we'll talk about overboard bags in a few minutes. I don't know if I'll have time to really get into overboard bags on this one. But in my boat, I had 2 Pelicans, which I still have the cases. I now use them for ammo and guns. They were bright yellow Pelicans, the hard cases, and in each one we had different things. And one of them, I had a couple of VHF radios, handhelds. This one, and another one that was a little smaller, actually, a newer version. And I had 2 rechargeable backups for each one, as well as a pack of batteries for each one with the adapter, so I can adapt this to normal batteries if need be. Then I had a microphone for each one if I needed it. And I had a charger and a cigarette lighter plug on it. Even though you can't charge it while you're in the water, at least I had it. But now, so with all the solar stuff, you may be able to charge it while it's floating in the water. I don't know. I don't see how that's going to happen, because these things are waterproof, and I don't know there's a way of plugging it in. But at that point, I was that. And then in the other case, I had a couple of GPSs. One of them was a GPS plotter, so it would actually give me all the depths, the soundings. It would give me the markers So if I'm out there in the middle of the night and I see something blinking 3 times, I know where I am, I see where it's going, I know the direction, it tells me what that marker is, so if I have to call in for help, not only do I have longitude and latitude, I can tell them that I'm looking at a particular marker. Now you can tell them that anyway. If you go overboard and it's at night and they're looking for you and you have no way of telling where you are because you have no GPS and you do have a VHF, if you're looking and you see a marker, you know, a blinking green or a blinking red or a red and white, whatever it is you may see, you tell them what you're seeing, and they're going to ask you to tell them when it's on and when it's off, because then they can kind of get an idea where you may be by that marker blinking. For instance, we have something over here that blinks 3 times, once every 1.5 or 2 seconds. You know, so if you're telling me I see a blink, no blink, blink, no blink, blink. Well, that tells me that you're okay. You're not too far off from the Cow and the Calf, or you're not too far off from the mermaids. You know, so it gives me an idea what's going on. So, but anyway, the Pelican bag, one had communications, the other one had an all backup to keep it running for more than a day, and GPSs, a couple of them with all backups to keep it running for more than a day. Then I also had another one, which was actually a cooler, and it held 12 bottles of water. Because believe it or not, if you go overboard and you're in the middle of the saltwater pond, the ocean, or whatever, you're going to get thirsty real quick, and you can't drink that water, and that water is going to make you thirsty. So you better have something floating nearby to get you by. So I used to keep 12 bottles of water in a small cooler hard case that would float. I put reflective tape on it, and that too would get tethered to us. This here way we at least had water. Now if you want to throw something else in there in Ziploc bags, like, you know, peanut butter crackers or something like that, that's fine. You don't want to put too much in there because it's going to get hot in there. If you just have it sitting on a boat, because you're not going to keep ice in it. It's going to be room temperature water, but you can always cool it down a little bit to ocean coolness just by holding it in the water for a few minutes. But you also want float rope when you're tethering yourself. Tether yourselves together, giving yourself about 6 feet apart, and you want to use what they call float rope. The rope is going to float, therefore it's not going to get tangled up within your feet. Alright, if you have to start treading water or something, and it gives you enough room to keep apart from the other party. So tether each other together and you'll be all set.